Hello, my name is Abigail, and on this channel I talk about books and things that I'm passionate about. And in the month of October, I really put myself through the ringer. I managed to put out, sorry, my cat is like literally right here knocking everything over. I managed to put out 31 videos in 31 days, and along the way I actually read 31 books. And because I had a very strict, very tight timeline TBR, I did not really get to mood read. And mood reading is something that I enjoy. I typically don't enjoy a book unless I'm in the mood for it. So as you can imagine, 31 books in 31 days, where I had pre-selected everything based on a theme, based on how it would fit in this category with this video and XYZ, adding things along the way, taking things out. There was none of that. It was just what I wrote on the paper. And so because of that, I decided I deserved a little mood reading in the month of November, and that is what I did. So in the month of November, I picked up books just because I wanted to. I read some things that I needed to do for other things, but mostly, well, no, I guess I picked up a lot of things that I needed to do for December and stuff like that. So these 3 books right here were just for me. Starting off with Mate by Ali Hazelwood. This is the sequel to Bride, Ali Hazelwood's paranormal romance. Bride starred a vampire and a werewolf. Mate stars a hybrid werewolf and a werewolf. And it's just a good, silly, kind of sexy time. It's seriously unserious. And I really loved Bride. So I knew that when I found out that this was coming out late October, and I knew that there was not going to be time for me to pick this up in the month of October, no room for this in my plans, I decided I deserved it. So as soon as it became November, this became the star of the show, and I loved it. Moving on to the next book that I picked up in the month of November, just for me. This is Behind the Mirror by Taryn Armstrong. I am a big fan of reality TV, and Taryn Armstrong is a podcaster for the network RHAP, which is Rob Has a Podcast, and Rob Has a Podcast is by Rob's sister Nina, who is one of the greatest players to never win the game of Survivor. And Taryn Armstrong is a longtime Big Brother watcher, 10 years, I believe, Big Brother podcaster, and this book right here was the culmination of everything that he knows about Big Brother, condensed into an easily digestible format. While I feel like this didn't teach me anything new, I wanted to pick it up anyway, and I'm glad that I did. And the final book that I read in the month, well, for this video, I think I ended up kind of leaning into December with this one, but it was Honeymoon Phase by Amy Dawes. This is the 3rd of the Mountain Men matchmaking novel. And I can't really say much without giving away the plot of the other 2, but these books are about brothers who live on a mountain, and their niece is always meddling in their love lives, and for the better. The first one was delightful, the second one was also delightful, and the third one was definitely also delightful. So let me send you back into time to when I read these books, so you can feel the joy that it was to just be able to read for the joy of reading. For the first book that I am reading for my mood reading, because I deserve it vlog, I have started Mate. My fall leaves are coming off, but I started Mate this morning, and I am running through it so quickly. I am having such a good time. No, it's not Mate. Is it Mate? Yes, because the first one was Bride. I love it. I really love Ali Hazelwood's paranormal romance, and I am sad to say that I don't love her contemporary as much. But I'm on chapter 14, and yeah, I really love it. I deserve it. I deserve it. I was getting ready to film an update for the new book that I started reading when I realized that I never even told you what I thought of Mate, nor did I ever really update you past what I thought in the first initial couple moments. I flew through this. I did not stop I flew through this. This was such an enjoyable read for me. I'm so grateful that I picked it up right now because it's still kind of chilly and it's still like the vibes are good. Also, like I'm going through this whole green phase. I don't really know what's wrong with me, but I'm going through this weird green phase and it just happens to match my entire life right now. So I had a great time. I really loved this. I really love this book. It is okay. No spoilers. In this book, there is our main character whose name is Serena, and then her male main character counterpart's name is Cohen, and he's an alpha of a pack. And in this pack, there are certain things that he can and certain things that he can't do. And it's like a choosing to remain celibate. It is fucking hot, okay? It is very interesting because it's like, usually it's, I don't know, it's just, she's a half human, half werewolf. This is a sequel to Bride, by the way. I don't know if I even mentioned that at all, but it's a sequel to Bride by Ali Hazelwood. And it's such a good time. Like, I don't think I could properly explain to you why this is such a good time because I flew through this and it's actually been several days since the last time I listened to this book on audio or even picked it up at all. But it was really good. So Serena is a half human, half werewolf hybrid, and she's obviously much different than humans and much different than werewolves because she's not quite really either. So while she's going through whatever she's going through in life, she's dealing with the fact that she's dealing with Cohen, who is the alpha of his pack, and she's still best friends with Misery. Misery's going through her stuff. It's just, I don't know, dude. It's just such a good time. Like, I want to reread them, both Bride and Mate. I want to reread these books. I love them. Ali Hazelwood, please keep writing paranormal romance. This was such a good time for me. I loved it so much. I want to read more in this universe. Listen, I haven't necessarily gotten along with Ali Hazelwood's contemporary, but the paranormal romance, it does something for me and it does something to me. 11 out of 10. This is, it's not a perfect 5-star book. It's pretty fucking close though. 4.5. Very good. Another one, thank you. This next book is for me, and it's only for me. I don't expect anybody to know about it or care about it. Like I said, this is completely just for me. And it is Behind the Mirror by Taryn Armstrong. I have loved reality TV my entire existence. I grew up watching shows that I definitely shouldn't have been watching at the time that I was watching them. Not limited to, but including Big Brother when I was a small child, Survivor when I was a small child, and Richard Hatch was running around naked on the island, and I was watching Flavor of Love, I Love New York, Rock of Love, all these shows that I definitely, certainly, absolutely should not have been watching at the time that I was watching them. Hold please, hold still. Gosh, what's wrong with you? But I was watching them, and I have had a fascination with reality TV for my entire life. And one of the things that I love most about reality TV is the ability to discuss it with others, and especially others that are incredibly in the know and talented. And Taryn Armstrong, I found out who he was from Rob Has a Podcast. Rob is Rob Cesternino from the TV show Survivor. He was on, I believe it was the 8th season. Don't fact check me. Well, maybe you could fact check me. At least get your information right. Now, this isn't Boston Rob that everybody knows and loves. This is Rob Cesternino, the other Rob. However, the other Rob has created a network for podcasting that I have been listening to for several years now. It is where I was first introduced to Mr. Taryn Armstrong. Taryn Armstrong is responsible for the live feed updates. Now, what the hell does that mean? Big Brother is a TV show that is filmed consistently and constantly 24/7. These contestants are locked in a house. They compete for things like luxuries as well as power. And the head of household will be chosen, by however it's played. Sometimes it's a quiz, sometimes it's a physical competition, but the head of household is chosen, and the head of household is then responsible for nominating 2 people to put on the block, and then the remaining house guests, not the head of household and not the 2 individuals who have been nominated, are voting on who is going home. And I've been watching Big Brother since Will Kirby season 2. Okay, loved Big Brother my entire existence. Now I fade in and out with Big Brother and reality TV in general. I seem to be at my utmost reality bad bitch in times when something new and exciting is coming out. Like, for example, Rob Cesternino, the aforementioned Rob, he is coming up on Traitors. Now, the previous season we had Boston Rob, the Rob that everybody knows and loves, and on the Traitors. And just, there's been 25 years. We just celebrated 25 years of Big Brother. We're celebrating 25 years of Survivor coming up soon, or 50 seasons of Survivor coming up next year. And I've loved just all of these reality TV shows, The Traitors, Real World. Anyways, long story short, Taron Armstrong, he has loved Big Brother his entire life as well. He turned it into a career, and he is responsible for, like I was saying, the live feed updates. And now going back to Big Brother, like I said, they are filmed 24/7, and you're able to access those feeds on the live feed update, or the live feeds. And Taron Armstrong is the one who's responsible for relaying this information to the people who don't have 24/7 access to the live feeds. They have jobs, they have lives that they have to do. Taron Armstrong, he has dedicated his summer to watching the live feeds and updating us. Taron Armstrong wrote a book, Inside the World of Big Brother. It's called Behind the Mirror, Inside the World of Big Brother. I pre-ordered this book as soon as it was announced. I also have it on audio. I have listened to almost everything that I could get my hands on that Taron Armstrong has done as far as like a Big Brother podcasting. He is just such a wealth of knowledge about the topic of Big Brother. And I know that for some people, nobody gives a shit, and that's fine. But I give many shits, and I started it. It was released today, the day that I picked this up. I pre-ordered it on audio because he actually, he's a podcaster. Of course, he narrated his own audiobook, like duh. But I also bought the physical copy, and so I have already started it. I should have actually been wearing my Taron Armstrong shirt for this. That was silly. He has a shirt. This is live feed updates, but this is RHAP, which is Rob Has a Podcast, which is Rob Cesternino's podcasting network. And then I also have this is Kellis, which is Robot Cat, because Taron Armstrong's a robot, because he doesn't sleep, because all he does is watch Big Brother. And you'll often see my very, very favorite shirt that I wear is a play on like the Eras Taylor Swift, but it's just Rob Cesternino through the eras. And anyways, long story short, I have showed what an incredible nerd I am on the internet today, and I hope that you'll come back tomorrow anyway. But I am reporting that I am enjoying this. I really love Taron Armstrong. I really love Big Brother. I really love looking at the history of one of my favorite TV shows, especially as we come up on the 50th season of Survivor. It's just so much history is happening right now in reality TV, and I'm really grateful that I get to not be a part of it in any major way, but help to be a part of it in the ways that I can by purchasing Taron Armstrong's book and reading it in one day. Well, it's 7:30, so I don't know if I'll actually read it in one day, but I like it. This isn't for the average person, but it is for me. And it is my mood reading blog, and I'm going to enjoy it. I got to chapter 7, and I'm having to shut it down for the night. I am falling asleep, not because the book is boring, but because I'm a geriatric old lady who needs 6 to 7 million hours of sleep each night. But I did get pretty far through, and we're coming up on some holidays here, so I have no doubt that I will finish this before the end of the week. Ideally, with me having a half-ish day tomorrow, the whole day off on Thursday, and a half-ish day off on Friday, I can conclude some of these damn vlogs I'm filming. Good evening. It is 7:45. I am 99.85 million% exhausted. I've had a rough day, but for my next mood reading, I did choose Honeymoon Phase by Amy Dawes. This is the third book in the Mountain Men matchmaker novel, and it's narrated by Teddy Hamilton. Yes, I own the physical copy, and I'm listening on audio. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm roughly 75% of the way through the book, so probably about right here. Yes, there are roosters on it. Listen, it's narrated by Teddy Hamilton, okay? I don't have an excuse, but I'm having a great time. Because why? Because I'm in love with this world. I'm in love with this world so much that when the next one comes out in May, I'm going to pre-order it and I'm going to read it that day. Because, oh God, these books are, first of all, they're stunning. And second of all, I am unsure if the fourth one will be narrated by Teddy Hamilton, but all three of the other ones have been. So I'm inclined to believe that it is at least a small amount possible that the third one will, or the fourth one will be narrated by Teddy Hamilton. I don't know if the women have all been the same for all of them, but actually, you know what? It might be weird if Teddy Hamilton narrates the last one, because she's actually in Ireland, the main character. So the three books that I've read so far are all brothers, and their niece is doing some matchmaking. The first one, she had set up her uncle, who wanted to have a baby via surrogate by himself. She had set him up with someone because the surrogacy, or the surrogate agency, declined him. And then at the same time that they were declining him and saying, hey, you've already been through all of our options, they were also declining Trista because she's over 200 pounds. And apparently that was a rule, that you had to be less than 200 pounds in order to be a surrogate. So she was getting declined, and he was, you know, essentially being told, dude, you're so picky, there's no one left. And so the niece went to the surrogate agency and was getting ready to post like her own wanted poster. And that's when Trista came out. And so Everly, which is the niece, set them up. And then for the second one, basically she ended up setting up the second couple too, and has also set up the third couple. Now this trope is marriage of convenience, which I do find fun. So the first one was forced proximity. Second one, forced proximity. Well, I guess they're all been forced proximity in their own way. But this one, ooh, dear Lord. The last one, this one's fake marriage, or marriage of convenience. The last one was, well, what was the last one? Well, was it marriage? Was it fake? I don't know. I don't remember. Despite the fact that I literally just read it a handful of days ago. What the hell was the point of them? I don't remember. But they're all like trope heavy, but it's like really funny. It's funny, but it's tropey, and I like tropes. I'm not somebody who is like, I don't look at a trope and go, ah, yes, I will hate this because of this trope. If anything, if I've enjoyed a trope in the past, I'm more inclined to pick something up. I don't like it when books are marketed solely based on their tropes, but I do happen to really like when a trope is mentioned, because then it feels like, what am I getting into? Here's what I'm getting into. So anyways, long story short, I love that each of the chapter headings have started with something fun. So the first one was Trista and Wyatt, and for them, their trope, or their how the thing started was like 14 weeks pregnant, 8 animals on the mountain. So I loved that. And then like that's how their each individual chapter header started. And then the last one, I can't remember either. Why do I not remember the second one at all? I don't know. Why don't I remember the second one at all? What is wrong with me? But this one is, every single chapter is started with fact or fiction, and then, because they're best friends. So this one is friends to lovers, forced proximity, marriage of convenience, and fake relationship. It's great. It's great. Oh, the second one is enemies to lovers, dumbass. So that was good. That was a good time. Oh, they were kind of fake dating too, weren't they? Yeah, they were fake dating because, yes, the second one was fake dating also. God, I'm really struggling. Anyways, hey, listen, it's a Monday from hell, okay? I am going to sit down, shut up, and read the rest of this book because I deserve it, okay? And I will update you in the morning or when I have finished it. I have had such structured reading the last couple months that to break away and just read something because I want to, it feels really good. I deserve it. Yes. Okay. Listen to this while I finish my skincare and get ready for bed. And then once I'm in bed, I will tandem, listen, and read. And I will update you when I finished. I finished Honeymoon Phase and I loved it. I loved it so much. I'm disappointed that I now have to wait till May for the 4th book. Because this series makes me so happy. And I love it. And I can't wait for Everly's story. Listen, I feel... Okay, so I'm gonna mention a vlog I did a really long time ago. So the LC Silver vlog, the first one I did when it was Off to the Races, the first series. So the sister of one of the characters, Nadia, I had a really hard time with her book because it feels strange to watch a kid grow up and then ultimately have their own romance novel. It's weird, right? To me. But I did okay with Nadia's, and there was an age gap in that one, so it was a little bit worse, maybe. So I'm hopeful that Everly's story will be good. The kind of story she deserves, since she helped all of her uncles find love. Also, reading this series makes me really, really, really wish that I had read Everly's dad, Max, and Cozy's book first. There's a whole world of Amy Dawes books that I am just now discovering based on the Mountain Matchmaking Men, and I'm really excited because while I wish I would have read those already, I now have something to look forward to when I am ready to pick up more Amy Dawes. Because the thing is if Amy Dawes publishes 1, maybe 2 books a year, that means I only have 1, maybe 2 books new each year. But I read these so fucking quick that I might just visit Backlist. It's the same way I feel about Megan Quinn. It feels very similar to me how I feel about Megan Quinn. Yes, I found Megan Quinn. I knew of Megan Quinn because her books are all over Amazon and they're on Kindle Unlimited, but I had never read anything by Megan Quinn, and now, listen, I'm obsessed with Megan Quinn's writing, the way that everything feels real, the characters feel really well developed, and the writing feels really good. It's the same way I feel about Amy Dawes. Listen, are they good, fun, sexy times? Yes. Am I ultimately learning anything? Not really. But it's a good time. And sometimes when you read, you just want to escape. And I think that that's okay. Like, is it the best thing for me to be spending my time reading? No. But arguably, what's the difference between me reading this and me watching TV? Not much. I'm not learning anything. And honestly, I wouldn't be watching TV anyway. It would be YouTube. I'd be scrolling on YouTube. And that's not helpful either. So leave me alone with my good, fun, sexy, hilarious, funny times. Thank you. That is it. That is the vlog. I've got Mate, which I gave a 4-star. One of the best things about this book is the relationship between Misery and our main character of this book, which is Serena. I love that their friendship is so, like, it spans such a very long time that these two women know each other so well that it makes it so enjoyable to read about females that are supporting each other. They are funny, they are good to each other, but they don't let each other get away with shit, if that makes sense. I don't know. I love them. I love them together. I love them apart. I love them all of the time. I wish that we had more backstory between Misery and Serena. I don't know if there will be a third one. I doubt it very much because there was only the two friends, unless, I mean, I think it's possible that we could have like one of the alpha bros or somebody, or one of the other werewolves from either of the pack, or maybe even Misery's brother. I think that that's an option, but I don't think that it would be the same book because I really do feel like these two women make the story for me. But I enjoyed it, and I will enjoy anything in that world. I don't love Allie Hazelwood's contemporary quite as much, but the paranormal romance does something for me. And then we have Taryn Armstrong's Behind the Mirror, Inside the World of Big Brother. This, like I said, didn't teach me anything new. I knew almost everything in this book. If I'm being critical, which I do have to be, the storyline was not linear, so we jumped back and forth in time for seasons, which doesn't necessarily ruin anything for me because I knew most, if not all, I want to say maybe 98 to 99% of this was something I already knew. Possibly the only things that I didn't know was season 1 because I didn't really watch it, but I've heard the lore, so I'm willing to say maybe 97. We'll call it 97 just to be gracious, but I knew most of it going into this, so I wasn't expecting to learn anything new. I wasn't expecting to gain any knowledge. I was mostly expecting to read about a show that I love from the perspective, from the eyes of another person who loves the show. I'm glad I did. It didn't take away anything from me. It didn't detract, being that we jumped a little bit back and forth. I think that somebody who has never, ever, ever seen an episode of Big Brother, never watched all 27 seasons of Big Brother, maybe you would gain more, and maybe subsequently the bouncing back and forth between timelines might hinder your enjoyment. But because I knew, like I said, most of this, it didn't deter, it didn't detract. It was just exactly as I was hoping it would be. I found out that Taryn Armstrong, who is one of my favorite podcasters of all time, was actually going to narrate his own audiobook. So obviously I had pre-ordered the copy before I found that out, and then I used one of my Audible credits to get the audiobook as well. So I ended up tandem reading, listening, and flipping through the pages, which is one of my favorite ways to intake media lately, because when I read, my mind gets a little like there's not noise, which is why I usually have lo-fi or like light noise in the background, because I need to have either perfect no one talking silence, or I need to have something that's covering up the sounds of life. My husband playing video games right over there, my son living, my cats existing. So I've learned that I really enjoy listening to the audiobook and turning the pages, and I think this was a perfect one to do that with, is because, I mean, like I said, I love Taryn Armstrong. I've been listening to RHEP for years and years and years, and I've been a fan of the community. My favorite shirt that I wear in almost every single video, majority of my fun t-shirts actually come from them, and I have been a patron. I've been a supporter very long time of RHEP. So to be able to support Taryn Armstrong in two ways: I listened to the audiobook, so I purchased the audiobook and the physical copy, so I was very happy to be able to do so. Yeah, that's very good. Anyways, the final book that I read for this was The Honeymoon Phase. I mentioned it when I was sort of recapping it as I was going, but the first one of these series is surrogacy. His niece is trying to find a surrogate for him, and then the second one is enemies to lovers, and this one is forced proximity, but also a marriage of convenience. It's kind of forced proximity. I mean, they all are kind of forced proximity. That's like the like bottom tier of the tropes that they have. But this one right here was marriage of convenience, especially when the man gets all possessive and says, like, my wife. Very good. that is it for today's video. The 3 books that I read for when I was gifting myself the opportunity to read just for me. And my cat is leaning right on the tripod, so I do apologize as that wiggles. But yeah, this was, I don't think I could have picked better books, because I had read these 2, the first 2 in the month of November, and I was itching to get to the 3rd one, and now I'm devastated that I have to wait till May for the 4th one, but I digress. Also, Teddy Hamilton is the narrator for all 3, bitch. Oh, yes, please. And then Behind the Mirror, I pre-ordered this when it got announced months and months and months ago, so I knew that the second that this was going to come out, I was going to want to start it, and I'm very glad that I did. And the same thing goes for Mate. As soon as I realized that I wasn't going to be able to pick it up in the month of October, I picked it up in November. And so really, these 3 books were the perfect books for me to bridge the gap between October, where my reading was very strict, and December, where my reading is once again going to be very strict. So I'm glad that I was able to make time for these 3 books, make time for me, make time to remind myself of the joy of reading and the joy of mood reading. And that is it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, I have fantastic news. I do tend to post at least once a week, usually twice. And if you didn't like this video, I do post once, maybe twice a week, so maybe you'll like the next one.